Leave your kids behind. Your sister doesn't want them at dinner. My mom said, and my dad told me to respect her wishes. So I did, and reminded them to respect the one paying the bills as well. Can you believe your own mother, on Christmas Day, told you your children weren't welcome at dinner? Not just any dinner, but Christmas dinner, at her house? And then, to twist the knife, my dad told me I had to respect their wishes, even though I was the one secretly paying their bills for months. What the hell happened next was something I never saw coming. I'm Edna, 34. The older child, the one who knows where the extension cords live and which cabinet hides the fancy plates. I've got two amazing kids, Max, who's 7 and a walking encyclopedia of dinosaur facts, and June, 4, with pockets always full of buttons and crumbs. My job? I work in operations at a logistics company. Basically, I move headaches from point A to B without anyone seeing me sweat. And in my family, that became my role everywhere. Hold things together. Make it easy. Don't be loud. Then there's Lily, my younger sister. She's 31. She has projects, a ring light, and parents who treat her calendar like a national holiday. If Lily posts, thinking of starting a pop-up, Mom texts me, isn't she brave? If I get a raise, Mom texts, so proud. Can you still bring the pies? Christmas at my parents' house? It's a production. Candles. The gold deer that sheds glitter forever. A playlist Dad calls timeless, and I call, oh no, the saxophone solo. I bake the sugar cookies because mine don't melt into blobs. Lily curates the vibe, which is code for bossing the room with a smile. We always ate elbow to elbow in that old living room, pretending to be a magazine spread. This year, Mom said it would be smaller, refined. She said refined like she had a sponsorship. On the 25th, at 2:17 p.m., I was frosting trees with Max and June. Our kitchen smelled like vanilla and warmth. Max kept trying to stand little gummy bears up like soldiers. June hummed, very serious, sticking 1 star on every single cookie. My phone lit up.
Mom.
I wiped my hands and answered on speaker. Edna, she said, already in motion. Quick thing about tonight. I turned the sheet pan so the cookies would cool evenly. Okay, I replied. Leave your kids with the nanny. Lily's children don't want them at dinner. I thought maybe the mixer was too loud, that I'd heard it wrong. I'm sorry. What? She stayed bright, like a commercial. They've been clear about their boundaries. Your two are very active. The little one takes things. Tonight is formal. It's better if you come without them. June was leaning on the counter, holding a sprinkle star between 2 fingers like a diamond. I take stars, she whispered to herself. I felt that, like a needle. I breathed in through my nose. Mom, they're your grandkids. It's Christmas. A second call flashed on my screen, Dad. I picked up. We have to respect their wishes, he said, his voice judgy. It'll be easier. Lily's kids have had a tough year. I'm not sending my kids to an empty house, so I can sit at your table without them, I said. I kept my voice even. I always keep my voice even. They can open their gifts tomorrow, Mom said. A snap under the sugar. It's just one dinner. Don't be dramatic. In our house? I asked. A pause. Well, keep them here. Less back and forth. Max held up a T-Rex cookie with a crooked scarf. Mom, he's cold. He grinned. June added. Mine is a galaxy. I turned away so they wouldn't see my face change. Say it clearly, I told Mom. You want me to leave Max and June at home? Your door is open to me, not to them. It's not personal, she said, which always means it's deeply personal. Lily's children are particular. Are Lily's children coming? I asked. Of course. Indignant, as if I'd asked if water was wet. So it's not kid-free, I said. It's Max and June-free. Silence. Dad softened. Tried to land the plane. Let's not argue. Bring the cookies. Wear that red sweater your mother likes. Max tugged my sleeve. Can I wear the dinosaur sweater? I swallowed the hard thing in my throat. Send me the time, I said. 6 sharp. Doors open. Mom chirped. I hung up. Took a photo of the cooling racks, like proof that something lovely still existed. Opened our family chat. I typed a single thumbs up emoji. Then I put the phone face down. In our kitchen, the fridge hummed a steady, low sound. June drew a star on the fogged window with her finger. Max narrated a tiny war between gummy bears and a snowman. I watched my own hands spread white frosting in tidy lines and thought, so this is what it feels like to be cut out and asked to say thank you. By 6, I would have to choose. Walk into their house alone, pretending it's fine, or don't go. June said, "Grandma will see my dress," with that little hopeful tilt. I kissed her hair and said, "Grandma will see pictures." It tasted like I'd bitten foil. I pressed a candy star into a cookie and watched the sugar grit under my thumb, my hand shaking just enough to make the line crooked. If you're about to type, it's just dinner. Hold that thought. There's a trail to this night. It's not one crack. It's a sidewalk full of them. Since April, I'd been covering my parents' rent. Dad retired early, which means laid off at 59. Their savings weren't what he implied. Mom's boutique job pays in compliments. I set up an autopay because their landlord charges a late fee at 12:01 a.m. and my parents think due date means suggestion. We called it bridge months. Bridges can last a long time if no one else builds one. Then it wasn't just rent. I put them on our phone plan. I paid 2 electric bills because the online portal is confusing, which it isn't. I replaced their dishwasher when it died mid-cycle. I bought soccer cleats for Lily's son after she posted a vague surprise expenses. And Mom texted me 3 screenshots with, "Maybe help." When Lily launched a slow fashion boutique in her garage, Mom sent me the link and wrote, "Your sister is so brave. Maybe a small investment." I said, "We didn't have extra." That month, I still paid for shipping labels and a ring light because you have points, right? Like points are Monopoly money. If you're thinking, you train them to treat you like an ATM, sure. I had boundaries. I wrote them down even. And then I stretched every single one until it snapped. Guilt feels like a familiar song you hum without noticing. Then my husband would say, calm and kind, "We can say no." I would nod and then Venmo $85 with a memo. Gas emergency, and pretend I didn't notice I was hot with resentment. It wasn't always like this. As kids, Lily and I were fine. Then middle school sorted us into categories. Lily was sparkle. I was stable. When Lily cried, the room rearranged. When I cried, I was sensitive. That soundtrack never got remixed. As adults, the big gestures were for Lily. The invisible labor for me. Lily's first apartment? Dad built a headboard. I paid the deposit because she's just getting started. Lily's wedding? We all chipped in because venue of her dreams. When I had Max, the baby gifts came with notes like, "Don't post pics. We're keeping it intimate." When Lily had her first, there was a balloon arch and a hashtag. The kid things started like small paper cuts. Max talks loud when he's excited. June collects shiny things like a magpie. Last Thanksgiving, June touched a glass deer on the mantle. Lily's daughter cried. She smudged it. Lily said, dead serious, as if we were in a museum. After dinner, Mom pulled me aside and suggested the den for activities next time. At Hanukkah, at our cousins, Lily wrote in the group chat, "Can we keep food strictly at the table? My kids are in a clean month." I muted the chat and told Ben, "A clean month?" He said, "Maybe she means less crumbs." We laughed, and then it wasn't funny. 2 weeks before Christmas, I was at my parents' house wrestling their Wi-Fi because somehow the password, Winterdeer 2017, is impossible to type. Mom's iPad pinged with an email. I saw my own name in the subject. December rent received. I didn't snoop. It was right there. Under my auto-pay receipt were replies I wasn't meant to see. Dad, thanks for the extension last month. Our daughter is covering December and January. Mom, we also need to add our younger daughter, Lily, as an occupant. She'll use our address for school transfer. The landlord, as long as payments keep arriving, no problem. School transfer. So, my money made it possible for Lily to use my parents' address to get her kids into the better elementary school up the street. The school where my kids aren't the vibe, according to a thing Lily once said too loud. I put the iPad down like it was hot. I didn't say anything. My chest made that small, mean hurt that sits there and waits. The group chat the week of Christmas was a slideshow of soft cruelty. Lily's kids in matching pajamas. Mom's spreadsheet titled Holiday Logistics, with tabs for menu, gifts, and dress code, plus tone. Tone. Festive, calm, neutrals. I took a screenshot and texted it to Ben with "help me." He sent back a skull emoji and then, "Do we own calm neutrals?" 3 days before Christmas, Mom texted me separately. "No plastic toys at the table this year. Remember last time? Knives are sharp." 2 days before, Lily called from her car. "Hey," she said, breathy. Silly question. "June still wears those glitter barrettes? My two are sensitive to glare. Could you leave them home?" I stared at my cart in Costco and said, "Sure." Then I pushed the cart and felt like a ghost. My parents don't talk like villains. They talk like reason. It's a season. It's just smoother this way. You know how your sister is. We're keeping the peace. Peace is easier when you move one person off the map. On the 24th, I dropped off a tray of cookies at my parents' because I am polite, even when I'm bleeding. Mom met me at the door. "So pretty," she said, kissing the air near my cheek. "Oh, wear the red sweater tomorrow. It photographs well with a table runner." Behind her, Lily arranged napkin rings like a stylist. "We're coming, right?" I asked. Mom blinked as if we'd already agreed. On the morning of the 25th, we did our home traditions. Pancakes, a walk, a movie on the couch. Max asked, "Will Grandma like my dinosaur sweater?" June practiced twirling. At 5:58, Mom sent a photo of the table. Candles lit, tiny place cards, the gold deer, at every setting. One card read Lily, in tight script. 2 small plates in the corner had blank cards. No names. In the background, Lily's daughter held a glass ornament, smiling. Mom texted, "Doors open." I sent a picture of Max biting a star cookie and June holding up her dress. Then I put my phone face down again. The crack in my chest widened and found all its friends. Ben asked, "What do you want to do?" I said, "Bake the rest of the cookies." Then I kept frosting. Then I breathed. Then I stopped pretending I didn't know. By evening, I had a plan. It was plain, not dramatic. I would do 3 clicks and 1 boundary. No speech, no fight, just an end to financing a story where my kids were the problem and my money was the fix. At 8:12 p.m., with the kids in pajamas, watching a Pixar movie, I opened my laptop. I clicked through muscle memory. 1. The rental portal. I canceled the autopay I had set in April. A box popped up. "Are you sure?" I clicked yes. I didn't hold a ceremony. I didn't even hold my breath. 2. The phone plan. I removed my parents' lines from auto billing. I did not disconnect them. I am not cruel. I just took my card off the hook. 3. I exported a PDF of everything I'd covered this year. Rent, utilities, phone, dishwasher, cleats, ring light, shipping labels. I named it Family. Not to send. To remember. It's real. In the family chat, I reacted to Mom's table photo with a thumbs up. Late. That was it. 57 minutes later, my phone tried to jump off the coffee table. 34 missed calls. 9 from Mom, 10 from Dad, 15 from Lily. A video call breathed fire and died. A voicemail dotted my screen. I pressed play. "Mom." Voice pitched high. "Edna, what did you do?" "The portal says payment canceled. It's Christmas. This is sick. Call me." Dad, low and tight. "I don't know what game you're playing, but it ends now. Call me back." Lily, breathless with outrage. "You're insane. You're going to make them homeless because you're mad your kids weren't invited to a formal dinner? Grow up." The video call rang again. I let it go. Another voicemail landed. I pressed play and walked toward the kitchen so the kids wouldn't hear. Dad, sharp. "Get back here or it's over." He doesn't yell. Hearing him like that made something ice cold in me. Then the phone muffled, and at 0:47, Dad's voice off to the side, not to me. "Call the landlord and tell him if she doesn't reinstate it tonight, we'll pull the kids' gifts until New Year's." In the background, Lily. "Take the bike. She'll fold if you touch the bike." The bike? Max's red bike with blue streamers. The one stored at Santa's warehouse, aka my parents' garage. I didn't think. I grabbed my keys. Ben stepped into the hall. "Where are you going?" "They're going to hold the gifts hostage," I said. "They said the bike." He looked at my face and didn't argue. "I'm here. Drive safe." "Want me to come?" "I have to do it," I said, and he nodded, because he knows me. The drive was 8 minutes. It felt like the distance between old and new. The voicemail sat open on my passenger seat. I pressed replay and let it burn into me so I couldn't talk myself out of what I knew. Their house glowed warm. Through the window, I saw Lily's kids in matching pajamas on the couch, the tree heavy with boxes. I knocked. Nothing. I knocked again. Mom opened the door with her mouth in a tight line. "You can't just," she started. I held on my phone and hit play. The line about the landlord, the gifts, the bike. Dad, behind her, went still. Lily rolled her eyes. Out of context, she said like a script. "Where's the bike?" I asked. "Edna," Dad said, hands up like he was calming a horse. "We can talk like adults." "I'm talking," I said. "Where's the bike?" "In the garage," he said, finally, jaw working. "Take it." "Are you happy?" "No," I said. "I'm not happy, but I'm done being stupid." Lily crossed her arms. "You cancel their rent and then steal the bike." "Wow." "I paid for the rent. Ben and I paid for the bike," I said, voice flat as a cutting board. "I'm taking what belongs to my kid." Mom stepped forward, voice sharp. "You humiliated us tonight. On Christmas. You excluded Max and June from your house," I said on purpose. I kept my voice low. I didn't want to scare Lily's kids in the next room. "If you want to talk humiliation, play your own voicemail back." I walked to the garage. The bulb flickered and buzzed. The bike sat there with a bow taped to the seat. Blue streamers like a small parade. I felt relief like air. On my way back, I stopped by the tree. 2 boxes had Max and June written in Mom's neat script. I took those too. In the hallway, Dad tried one last pitch. "Reinstate the payment tonight and we'll revisit everything in January." I took out my phone and scrolled through the PDF on the screen. April rent, May, June, electric, phone, dishwasher, cleats, ring light, shipping labels. I held it up. "We've revisited all year. Here's my new policy. I am not your bank, and my children are not bargaining chips." Lily's mouth twisted. "You think you're better because you have a job with insurance?" "I think I'm awake," I said. I left with the bike under my arm and boxes tucked to my chest, keys biting my palm like a promise. I got home at 9:46. Ben opened the door before I could fumble it. He saw the bike and exhaled all at once. "They said the bike," I told him, at 47 seconds. "We're not doing that," he said. The kind of sentence that makes you feel your feet. We hid the bike in the basement behind the coats. We slid the boxes under our tree. Then we sat on the couch in the dark living room and listened to the heating kick on and off like the house was breathing with us. My phone buzzed itself into a tantrum on the counter. I let it. When it finally stopped, I opened it. 40 texts, 3 new voicemails. In the family chat, Mom had typed, "What you did tonight is unforgivable. We will talk when you're rational." I typed, "Tomorrow after 1 p.m., not before." Then I turned the phone face down again and went to bed. Morning came like a fresh start. Max was up first. He saw the 2 boxes and went very still. "Mom," he whispered, "Santa." He tore the paper and cackled. Glow-in-the-dark dinosaur stickers. He slapped one on his forehead. June unwrapped a purple scarf with her name stitched slightly crooked. My throat did the hot thing. That stitch is my mother's hand. People can be cruel and kind inside the same hour. I wish that wasn't true. After pancakes, we rolled the bike out. "Bow askew." Max stared, eyebrows up like a cartoon. "For me?" His voice shook. I nodded. "For you." He touched the bell. It rang. Too loud. June clapped like she was at a play. Ben took Max outside to test the bike. June and I held a tea party for stuffed animals. I made tiny cups of water. She poured milk on the rug and said, "Sorry," and I said, "It happens," and meant it. A neighbor texted that they had extra cinnamon rolls. We opened the door to December air and sugar. At 10:06, I called my parents and put the phone on speaker at the kitchen island. Ben stood beside me like a bookend. Mom answered fast. "Are you ready to apologize?" "I'm ready to be clear," I said. Dad tried reasonable. "Emotions ran hot last night. Undo the payment. In January, we'll make a plan." "No," I said. "I'm done paying your rent. I'm taking your lines off our phone plan at the end of this billing cycle. I will not be covering utilities or emergencies. If you can't afford your place, you'll have to downsize, or Lily can contribute since you added her as an occupant to use your address for school. That ends, too. Fix it." Silence crackled. Then, Mom, you can't just cut us off. I can, I said. I've been carrying this since April. You're punishing us because your children can't behave, she snapped. My children are children, I said. You excluded them from your house on Christmas to keep Lily comfortable. That's your choice. Here's mine. I won't pay for a family I'm not invited to be part of. Lily joined the call. Classic. Her name popping up mid-ring. You always make it about money, she said. You're making them homeless. They have options, I said. Landlord. Budget. You stop using their address for school. Start telling the truth. Dad tried the shame card. After everything we've done for you, name one thing in the last year. I said. Not because I didn't know, but because I wanted them to hear the quiet. He shuffled a paper sound. Mom said, we watched Max that one weekend. You texted me a list of improvements afterwards. I said. We're not trading in that currency anymore. This isn't a fight. It's information. Boundaries, not punishment. If you want to see the kids, you can come to our house. Respect their noise, their barrettes, their existence. If you use them to leverage money again, you won't see them. Mom gasped. You'd keep our grandchildren from us. You did last night, I said. A pause stretched. Dad tried one more angle. You're choosing your husband over your family. I'm choosing my family over your habits, I said. Those are different. I don't recognize you, Mom said. I finally recognized myself, I said, and ended the call. We took the kids to the park. Max rode in wobbly circles and rang the bell like an ambulance. June collected 3 pine cones and named them. We came home with pink noses and made grilled cheese. I answered no messages. I breathed like I'd forgotten how and remembered again. Fallout came like weather. My aunt texted, proud of you. They've eaten your spine for years. My cousin sent a screenshot of Lily's Facebook post. Some people weaponize money to control good families. Comments. Haters gonna hate. Stay strong, queen. I didn't engage. A coworker dropped a bag with cocoa packets and a note. You're not crazy. I cried in the pantry because kindness tilts me faster than cruelty. 2 days later, the landlord called because my name had been on the payments for months. Hi, he said, careful. Just confirming the change. Do they have a plan? They'll contact you, I said. I'm not their treasurer. I like them, he said. It's just, I know, I said. It's time. Mom sent 13 texts in 1 hour that yo-yoed from attack to plea. You humiliated us. We can make a plan. Your children will miss out. Please help us find a smaller place. The last one. Can we come Saturday to bring their stockings? It sounded like my actual mother, the one who taught me to fold napkins like swans. Yes, I wrote. Saturday at 3. Just you and Dad. No speeches. They came at 3:07. Paper bag, red cheeks. Quiet. Dad looked older. Mom looked like she'd slept in yesterday's makeup. They sat on her couch. June climbed into Dad's lap with a book because she's sunlight like that. He read, halting then smoother. Mom handed out socks, chocolate Santa, tiny oranges. No comments about barrettes, no calm neutrals. When June said, do you like my sparkles? Mom said, I love your sparkles. And looked at me like she was taking a test and wanted to pass. We drank cocoa. We talked about the snow. No one said rent. No one said Lily. When they left, Mom hugged me. She said into my hair, very small, I don't like the person I become when I'm afraid. Me either, I said. It wasn't forgiveness. It was truth. The week after, Lily called twice. I didn't answer. She left a long voicemail about family systems and mutual aid. It ended with, you always think you're better. I deleted it, then asked if I was okay. Yes, I said, because I'm not trying to be better. I'm trying to be done. By mid-January, my parents gave notice. They found a smaller place near the bus line. Dad sent a photo of a ground floor unit with a caption, cozy. Mom sent a screenshot of a budgeting app with, we're trying. I didn't throw confetti. I texted back, proud of you. And meant it in a normal human way, not a savior way. Lily posted a GoFundMe for transitional costs. I didn't donate. A lot of people didn't. She posted about grit and community. She wrote me a text. You made this happen. I didn't reply. Not every ball needs to be caught. Our house stayed light. Max learned to stop wobbling. June wore every barrette to dinner one night, and I told her she looked like a queen. We had neighbors over for soup, and the kids made a fort out of chairs and blankets. I stopped checking the family chat every hour. Some days I forgot it existed. One Tuesday in February, Dad texted a photo. Him and Mom on a small couch, 2 mugs, a cheap lamp, a shelf with a gold deer. "It looks silly here," he wrote. "We like it." "We like silly," I wrote. He replied, "Come by Sunday." "Come here Sunday," I wrote. "Max wants to show you how loud his bell is." He sent a thumbs up emoji. I laughed because of course he did. On Sunday they came. No Lily. Dad held the bike steady while Max rode on the sidewalk. Mom and June did stickers at the table. Mom stuck a star to her own sweater and didn't flinch. We ate spaghetti. They left early because buses. The house felt normal after. Not perfect, just ours. I wish I could tell you everyone learned and no one backslid. That's not real. Mom still sent me an article about calm homes once, and I sent back a photo of June covered in glitter with a caption. Lily posted vague shade, and 3 friends liked it. But the shape of the thing changed. The center moved. It moved to my house. It moved to my kids. It moved to me. I used to think being a good daughter meant absorbing heat, so no one else burned. Bring the cookies. Wear the sweater. Say yes. Pay quietly. Be gracious. I thought if I was excellent at being useful, they would be excellent at loving me back. That's not how any of this works. Here's what I know now. Love without respect feels like theft. Boundaries aren't punishments. They're fences. So the garden survives. When Mom said, "Leave your kids," the translation was, "Leave the parts of you that don't serve Lily." When Dad said, "We have to respect their wishes," it meant we respect whoever shouts loudest. When I canceled that autopay, I didn't become cruel. I became honest. People say money complicates families. Money doesn't. Secrets do. Entitlement does. The story we all tell together does. My old story? Edna pays. Edna smooths. Edna is steady. Edna disappears. The new one? Edna is a person, not a wallet. Her kids are people, not props. Her house is a place where you are wanted as you are or not at all. My children won't remember the whole fight. They'll remember the bike bell, too loud, the cocoa, the day Grandma put a sticker star on her sweater and laughed. They'll remember that our door opens for people who see them and closes to people who don't. Even if those people are family, even if it hurts. I can't fix the system that built Lily into a sun my parents could orbit. I don't have to stand in its heat. If she calls one day and says, "I'm sorry," I'll answer. If she calls and says, "You owe me," I won't. I'm not required to fund a lie, so everyone can keep pretending. My parents are learning. Slow. Some days Mom texts a photo of a pot roast in a tiny oven and writes, "Too dry," and I send a link to a recipe and a heart. Some days Dad sends a picture of him and June on the couch reading, the gold deer in the corner, and my chest hurts in a new way. Not sharp, just full. We are not fixed. We are different. The red bike lives in our garage now, scraped on one handlebar where Max tipped it. Every time I see it, I hear Dad's voice at 0:47. And then I hear Max's laugh when the bell rings. I remember grabbing my keys. I remember choosing us. So here's the moral, plain. I will not be the bank. I will not be the scapegoat. I will not be the silence that makes everyone else comfortable. I will be the mother whose kids always have a seat at my table with extra cookies and glitter allowed. If that costs me invitations, good. We're not collecting invitations anymore. We are collecting people who know the difference between being tolerated and being loved. Have you ever had to draw a hard line with family, knowing it might change everything? What did you do? Tell me in the comments below. I'd really love to hear your stories.